Going on, everybody? We're back with another tactic here. Today we have got a 4-3-3 possession monster. Very, very good. I've used it not only within a save, but also in online drafts. In online drafts, it's really impressive. The play is absolutely beautiful. So if you want to play beautiful total football, this tactic's definitely the one for you. It's called the 4-3-3 Tiki Taka Masala. Kind of like the food dish. Ended up testing this with Manchester City, and yes, Manchester City, absolutely beast of a squad, but I wanted to see if we could do what they did in reality and win a treble, and we did that, plus added 2 more trophies to the trophy cabinet. So this tactic, very, very good, very, very fun to use. If you'd like to give this tactic a go for yourself, there will be a link down below in the description to my Discord where you are able to download the tactic from. And there will also be links for you to be able to get 22% off your pre-order for FM24 through Fanatical down below as well. Use code GORMY FM24, all caps, and you will be able to get yourself 22% off, or you just use the links down below in the description. It'll take you there and you apply the code that way, and you don't have to input it manually. But now, with all that being said, and without further ado, let's get into the video. So here we are with the 4-3-3 Tiki Taka Masala. We've got an advanced forward on attack up top, 2 inverted wingers on attack out wide, box-box midfielder on support, advanced playmaker on attack, halfback on defend, an inverted wingback on support, right wingback is a wingback on support, 2 ball-playing defenders on defend, and a sweep keeper on support. Now this tactic is kind of a blend of how Pep sides have been in the past with their possession style football, and a combination of how I see the possession style football going now, especially with the modern day player. The advanced forward on attack up top has shoot more often. Both inverted wingers on attack have crosses aimed at center and shoot more often. The box-box midfielder on support has take more risks, crosses aimed at the far post, get further forward, and move into channels. The advanced playmaker on attack has crosses aimed at the far post. The halfback on defend was left as is. The inverted wingback on support has take more risks and get further forward. The wingback on support has cross more often and crosses aimed at center. Both ball-playing defenders on defend are to stay wider. And the sweep keeper on support was left as is. This tactic's played with a positive or attacking mentality. In this case, this was a positive mentality. You can use a balanced mentality if you aren't like the upper echelon type side. If you're a lower table team, definitely feel free to go balanced. If you have great work rate and good playmaking ability on your side, you will be just fine using this tactic. But if you are able to go positive or attacking, I definitely suggest doing so. So when we're in possession, we have a narrow attacking width. We play out from the defense, much shorter passing directness, lower tempo, work the ball into the box, and whipped crosses in the final third. When in transition, we counter press, counter, distribute quickly to the fullbacks and center backs, aka distribute to the defense. And once out of possession, we have a high press line of engagement, standard defensive line, slightly more often trigger press, and trap to the outside. So now that we've gone over the tactic itself, let's get into the tactical analysis side of things. So here we have the 4-3-3, and the players that you see on screen right now are the players that were used in testing for this. Now, I do have the updated database, so Mateus Nunes and Josko Gvardiol are both on Man City now. Both great players on their side as well. So one thing I want to highlight is the inverted wingback role. That is what Josko Gvardiol played a majority of the time. Now, John Stones, in reality, plays kind of like an inverted wingback. What you can do, because Josko Gvardiol, it says that he can play it, whereas John Stones can't. So what you can do is force them to play that spot. So John Stones could have been the inverted wingback if I wanted them to be. And if you play them over a couple of games, they will eventually start to get the hang of things and play just as good in that role as they would anywhere else. So if you have a player that has the building blocks to be an inverted wingback, but it doesn't say that they can do it, just slot them there into that role, give them some games, and eventually they will be able to perform to a high level for you in the inverted wingback role. But being that we play out from the defense, just like a majority of Pep sides have always done, how do we build out from the back? So we've got Rodri, who's the halfback, coming down. Diaz and Stones go out wide, which forced Gvardiol and Walker up the wings. But being that Gvardiol is an inverted wingback, he's actually going to be more so in this area here, which, being that Nunes is a box-box midfielder, which means that he can go from box to box, he also has roam from position and move into channels, so he can come out here if we want him to. And being that Kevin De Bruyne is an advanced playmaker on attack, he will most likely be here. Look at all the freaking triangles for passing that are available to the side, which is what Tiki-Taka is kind of built on. That is how Pep sides have always played. You look for those triangles, and it like fast passing, great possession, everything works in your favor. But now we're going to talk about the most fun part of this tactic, and that is how it is in attack. It is so much fun to watch. It's beautiful football. It is mesmerizing how good your side can be with this tactic, especially if it's a side that has players of top quality like a Man City does. So Erling Haaland is that advanced forward on attack. He's going to be up in this area. Kyle Walker is a wing back. Once he passes the midway line, he basically turns into a winger because Bernardo Silva is an inverted winger, which means that him and Foden, who's also an inverted winger on attack, are going to be more so in towards Haaland. And Walker's going to be occupying this space right along here. KDB is an advanced playmaker, so he'll be out around here, sometimes even into the box if need be. Mateus Nunes with roam from position, moving in channels, box to box. He can kind of operate in all this area here, but we're going to put him here for this instance. And then with Mr. Josko Gvardiol being the inverted wingback, he'd be up around here for support. Same with Diaz here, Stones here, Rodri here, for support reasons. With the most, where a majority of your attacks are going to be coming from are the advanced playmaker and inverted wingers. That is where a majority of your attacks are going to sprout from, is those three players. So in this scenario, it's Silva, De Bruyne, and Foden. Those are going to be your three playmakers because they're going to have a lot of assists. They're going to create a lot of opportunities for you. They're going to bang some home for themselves as well. But now that we've gone over that, let's go over some of the numbers and how the players and the team perform overall. So Man City ended up doing a treble, which actually turned into a quintuple, but they did the harder treble than what they did in reality. They won the league on 99 points with a 93 goal differential, which is absolutely fantastic. They won the Champions League final over Real Madrid. They won the Super Cup. They also won the FA Cup instead of the Carabao Cup, so that's where the harder part comes in. And then they also won the FA Community Shield. And what's funny about that Champions League title and the FA Cup is that in the FA Cup they played Arsenal. They beat Arsenal 4-0. They did not have Erling Haaland up top. They had Julian Alvarez because Haaland was hurt. And they also didn't have Ederson in net because Ederson was hurt, so they had Stefan Ortega. And they still beat Arsenal, a top quality side, 4-0. And then in the Champions League final, where they played Real Madrid, once again, no Ederson, no Erling Haaland, and they beat one of the best Champions League sides ever in Real Madrid, 2-1 with a backup goalkeeper and a backup striker. But now let's talk about the goals. Who scored the most goals for Man City? Well, we already know who scored the most goals for Man City. That was Erling Haaland. But how many did he score in a possession-based tactic where really focuses on passing and it's a bit slower than he's used to? So he ended up scoring 71 goals in 43 games, which is absolutely crazy because his XG was 46.95, basically 47 expected goals. And he scored 71. That's absolutely absurd. Then in second for goals was actually the backup striker and backup right winger, Mr. Julian Alvarez. In 22 games, he had 23 goals along with 10 assists. So dude absolutely balled out as well. Now when it gets to the assist numbers, the three positions I mentioned earlier, both inverted wingers on attack and the advanced playmaker on attack, are the ones a majority of the time that are going to contribute the most assists for your side. And they did just that in this test. Kevin De Bruyne had 31 assists and 9 goals with 40 goal contributions in 47 games. Bernardo Silva had 28 assists and 14 goals in 54 games. And Phil Foden had 26 assists and 16 goals in 45 games. Now, Kyle Walker and Mateus Nunes both also hit double digits in assists. Kyle Walker had 12 from that wingback position. Mateus Nunes had 10 from that box-to-box midfielder role. So overall, everyone really contributing goal-wise, as there were multiple players with double-digit goals, and there were multiple players with double-digit assists, because another player that hit double-digit goals that I didn't bring up was Jack Grealish. He had 12 goals. But being that this is a possession-based tactic, what were the possession numbers like? Well, they averaged 62% possession in the Premier League, which is absolutely fantastic. That was higher than anyone else. And then pass completion-wise, that needs to be high as well. They finished in second on 88%. The top was 89%. So they were absolutely fantastic, dead on every game that they came out to play, and they were amazing in every competition they were in, except for the Carabao Cup because they didn't win that. But, I mean, a quintuple with this tactic is absolutely incredible. So now that we've gone over all of that, let's see how it performs within the match engine. All right, so there we have it. The 4-3-3 Tiki Taka Masala. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing is 100% free, so I want to hit that sub button. Also, if you want to give this tactic a go, there will be a link down below in the description to my Discord if you guys wish to give it a go. Also, if you want that 22% off on your pre-order for FM24, there will be links down below to Fanatical where you can do so. Also, the manual code GORMYFM24, all caps, will be down below as well for that 22% off on your pre-order of FM24 through Fanatical. And with that being said, until next time, have a good one. Bye-bye.